Well folks, what is happening? Welcome to Mentality Monsters, and today's episode is proudly sponsored by our King's Camps. Big shout out to Mark Weir and his team for their continued support. We are in Tommy's office here at the minute, and we've been using this here as our studio. So just a shout out here for Tommy. So Tommy offer a service here called Text a Teammate. So it's to 85258. I had to read that upside down, so I had to make sure I got that right. So you text this here 24 hours at any time. There'll be someone, a mental health trained professional there to respond to you, whether it's about your own well-being or someone you're worrying about. Give this here a number, and the lads and ladies here at Tommy will be able to sort you out. So today we are here with Mr. Donnelly, Larne, fullback, centre back, plays all about the back four anyway. Former Cliftonville player and Northern Ireland Youth International. So, bro, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We'll just, because this is coming out next week, this is going to be our next one. Then you played last night as well. So a lot of people will be wanting to know, last three matches have been a draw and two defeats against teams that Larne, the level I'm not expect to be beaten. How do you feel the last few weeks have been, and how's kind of the morale in around the camp?
They've been tough. Obviously, we had a draw against Glentoran 2 weeks ago, and obviously our last two results have been defeats. The teams people should expect us to be beaten. So the boys they're disappointed, they're hurting. But we've got a big game coming up here on Tuesday, and I think we can bounce back in it.
I think there's probably no better match to kind of play when you're kind of going through a wee bit of a dip, and people are kind of getting onto your backs now as well. And you know what I mean? The likes of at Irish League's fan page, I always post into the Irish League fan page about when episodes go up, so I'm not slapping about the page at all, but you just see some madness in it, and you just see some people online as well. And again, you're top of the league, but you're too clear of Coleraine with a game in hand over Coleraine, so still a lot of football to be played. But you just see people fucking saying, the wheels have fallen off and shit they got there. But then you play the Blues, you can make a big statement, and the Blues, from people I've spoke to who are like Bluesmen, think they're back in the race there, which again, it's fucking, there's only is it 7 odd points?
9 games left, and there's 5 or 6 points in it between top four, so it's tight. As you said, there's a lot of football to be played, and as us, I don't think we can look into what people are saying, and we just gotta do what we need to do. And obviously the last 3 games maybe, have been frustrating for our fans and whatever, but we've got a good group there, a good bunch of lads, and I think there's 9 games left. Hopefully we can pick a bit of form up here on Tuesday and kick on again.
You before we actually get into kind of your story, so you were at a Cliftonville team that was competing for the league, as we were speaking about there before, so you know what it's kind of like to be in a title race. But now you're in a title race as a back-to-back, you've won the league on the bounce, the 2 out of the previous 3 years, so you kind of know what it takes to get you across the line. And what is the difference in mentality of a team that is chasing the league as you were with Cliftonville compared to now, when you've won the league twice with Larne already and you're chasing it again?
When you're chasing someone, there's no pressure on you, is there? No. It's like, there's nothing to lose. You're 3 or 4 points ahead of us. We just got to keep on knocking on the door. And when you are up there and boys are chasing you, sometimes you can feel a bit of pressure. We're looking behind us sometimes when you should probably just be looking forward. I think it's just trying to find that balance of just staying nice and cool, calm and collective, and then when you're in that position, I think that's what we've done previously at Larne. We've had loads of experienced players like Caine, who's played at big teams across the water, Scotty Allen, Andy Ryan, Tomas has been there, Mark Randall, have been able to drag us through tough moments. And now we're in a position where we are in a really good position, 2 points clear with a game in hand, 9 games to go, and we've got still loads of experienced players in our squad that can try and keep a ring calm when a ring mental on the outside, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's basically what it is.
You've won a good few trophies now. I would say, I think it's from after doing my research and stuff like that, there's 7 and then 8 including the Charity Shield as well. I would say that you're probably you are one of the experienced players now as well.
Definitely. Even though some people say 25 is kind of young or in that area anyway, but the amount of games I played in the league, I'd definitely say I'm one of the experienced players. You've obviously got Tomas, who's getting on a bit. And Mark Randall, who's 35, 36, played loads of games. You got them kind of boys there, but I would say I'm up there.
Tomas as well. A shout out to him. I'm going to get you one day. I swear to God. He'll be sitting in that chair. But I've got especially I think the journey for Tomas is class because he joined them in the championship when people probably knew what the project was going to be, but couldn't see exactly how it was all going to play out. And then he's kind of as you were saying, he's got a role at Larne as well, which is class. And just it's class for him as well, because I remember Star played Larne in the Irish Cup. And I remember Joe McNeil scoring and going 1-0 up. That was a good day. But then, and I think it's fucking, who was it who scored? Davy McDade, I think, scored 2, and then someone else scored. It was 3-1. But I remember Tomas getting a bit of abuse there as well. But I think it's just all part of the game.
That's what it is, mate. You know, you get some absolute headers in the sideline shouting on mental stuff. But
do you get it much from the Reds fans?
I used to. I think Craig Gallagher gets a bit more now.
He
gets it a bit more now.
Probably got to be number one.
Me and Paul and stuff. But at the start when I first left, you're a wanker and you're this and you're that. It's good crack.
Remember Levi saying on his episode that just some of the stuff that used to get shouted to him, and then I think Craig Gallagher is probably got to be number one for the Reds fans. So
since he joined, we've got a wee bit off it, so it's I don't mind it.
Unreal. So, bro, we'll kick in here just to your journey and where it all began. So, where are you from and what were you like as a young person?
I was born in Cliftonville, mate, but my family's from the New Lodge. I was playing football from no age. My dad played football when he was younger, managed Caine and stuff, so he obviously had me out with him all the time and whatever. And I joined the football team at 4 or 5.
Miles, was it?
Huh?
Miles team?
No, it was a wee North Belfast
United team?
North Belfast United team. I played for Emmons since no age. We were down in that wee club down in the New Lodge, and there we indoor place, kicking a ball from no age.
They had a few good teams, they
were brilliant, sort of were.
Was Boyd Munson your team, or was he a bit older?
Don't know. Can't remember. He might have been. He's my age, but I can't remember him back then.
No, because I remember I was speaking to, I don't know if you know him, Dan Caine. DK, because we're speaking about because he used to play for North Belfast years ago when he was a kid, and we're speaking about his team, and there was a few good players in around the team.
Definitely from back then, mate. There's loads of players from then till now that I would know that I played with, and they were like 7, 8, 9 even. Who've gone on and made decent wee careers for themselves and stuff.
Where did you go after North Belfast? Did you stay there for long?
I was there for 3 or 4 years, and then I think when I was about 11 or 12 I went to Cliftonville and I stayed there for a year. I moved quite a bit to be fair, and then I went to Glentoran.
You had all the tracksuits?
All the tracksuits, Glentoran for a year or 2, and I was at Linfield for 3 seasons from 13 to 16. What was
because obviously then you've kind of bounced about and you've seen the different academies and the way that the academies kind of train the facilities. What was the difference kind of between Linfield and the others?
See, to be honest with you, there wasn't much difference back then. It was just maybe better players.
Yeah.
You know, Cliftonville youth academies are really good now, but back then they probably weren't the best. Glens and Linfield always had the best academies. And they still have brilliant academies now, but back then it was definitely they were the 2 best. And I think at that stage when you're just getting a bit older, you just want to play for the best team.
Yeah.
Didn't really matter who it was, so you just want to be playing for one of them.
Did you enjoy your football at the Blues?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Towards the end, before I left, I actually got into the reserves, which was a big thing back then because it was like there was loads of first team players and stuff playing for the reserves, and I was only 15. So I think there was they used to have a tournament, I don't even know what it was called, where they would have played at the end of the season. And I played a load of games in it for Linfield. And I'd already decided to leave, and I was like, oh shit, should I stay now? Because I've got up and done well.
Yeah.
And David Healy was the manager and stuff, and he was like, he was there, he would have went and watched every single game, reserve game, and he was like, oh, maybe you should stay, you done really well, blah blah. But I obviously moved to Cliftonville.
Must be like when you're speaking to someone like that there at that age, you know what I mean? The kind of, you see the iconic goals, hat-trick against Spain and all that there, and then he's saying, oh, you're doing well, stay and stuff like that. Was there ever a way that he could persuade you to stay?
I don't know. I think I had my mind made up and all. It's one of them ones where you know for a few weeks or a few months, then I'm going to go there at the end of the season. And obviously it was nice. Obviously David was our coach as well for the under 16s for a wee bit at Northern Ireland, so I knew him. So it was just one of them ones that just made my mind up, and that was it.
And did you go straight into the Cliftonville reserves?
Straight in the Cliftonville reserves. It was actually mad. We were playing for my first training session for the reserves was pre-season, and we were running, and the first team had a friendly against Larne, their first friendly, and I'd done 2 or 3 sessions, and Dai O'Hara was the manager, and he said to me, "You're playing for the first team in the friendly," and whatever day it was, and I was like, "Fuck,
class!
This is class!" Like, and I went in and I played really well, and from then I was like in and out, training with the reserve, training with the first team. It was mental because I'd only joined. I'd no tracksuits or nothing, or no training gear. I'm up training with the first team.
Reds.
I'm up training with the first team wearing Nike shorts and Nike t-shirts, and all the boys are like, "I want to get him a fucking bit of training gear for fuck's sake, he's up training with us." So I was brilliant though.
Who was all in the squad in terms of the characters when you were coming through there?
Donnelly was there. He's obviously my cousin, so I just stuck to him most of the time.
What a fucking player!
What a player, man.
Unreal.
He was brilliant, so good.
Who was the manager at that time? Skin
was the manager, so Skin was brilliant as well. Skin and my dad would have been friendly enough when they were younger, so I knew him and he knew me, so it was good. He sort of
local lad as well, which makes things a lot easier.
No, but all the boys were brilliant. I remember getting into the team room the first time. I was sat in the corner, didn't say a word, head down. They all had a bit of crack. I just kept myself to myself.
As you do. Like it's like my job. Like when I first went in, didn't speak to until I was spoken to. Didn't say a word. You kind of have to fucking just write it out and then just kind of earn your stripes, as they say. See, when you were growing up, who did you was there a player that you would watch and you would go, "I'd love to take a bit of his game," or who did you kind of model yourself off?
No one really. I was a Cliftonville fan growing up. I went to all the Cliftonville games, but I don't know. I didn't really look into it.
Tomas,
I know. I didn't really look. When I was coming into the first team and stuff, Levi was there.
Yeah.
And I was left back. He was left back, and he was brilliant. And he's a hard man. Like, Reds loved him, and I was like, "Fuck, that's class. I love to be like him," and the Reds fans loved him. Probably just because I was there and he was in my position, I looked up to him. Know what I mean?
Who was your kind of football idols back then? Not even like playing Irish League. They were like England, Spain, anywhere.
I was a big United fan, so Ronaldo. Ronaldo, Rooney, loved them.
Had a rough few years, but
I don't know. Fuck me.
You're on the up now, though.
Well,
Carrick's the way. Hopefully. See when you draw it against West Ham there. I was going to myself, that bastard's not getting his haircut. Get in. Get fucking in. But so like United, would they have been? Yeah,
they were just. I grew up supporting United. So just Ronaldo and Rooney, loved them too. Fuck Evans. That was it.
And then coming through a Cliftonville at that stage, the 16-17 season, you were also playing youth football as well for Northern Ireland, and you played against some really big teams. I actually went back last night and looked at the Spain team you played against, and Ferran Torres was playing.
Was he?
Yeah,
we
Torres.
We were actually having a chat there the other day about some of the players I can remember playing. We played against a striker. I think his name was Ruiz. I don't know where he is now.
Ruiz, yeah, he plays for Girona. Did you ever see the Man City? Like they have a thing. Plays for him.
Was class. He played up front. Obviously, I played against him, so I could remember him. And then another wee lad, Sergi Gomez. I think he was at City not too long ago. Yeah. He was them two were class.
I was looking through the team. It was mostly all Barcelona, Valencia, and Real Madrid. Most of the team, they're all youth players playing for him. But the only real ones that have is Ruiz and Torres. The ones that are actually are recognised. But even. You played against Poland as well, I think, in the under-19s, and you played centre backs were your guy, the Polish guy, signed for Celtic. Do you know Naraki or something? He was the centre back, and then the other one, I can spell his name but I can't pronounce it. It's Kwiori, centre back. Forget who he plays for, but he plays for Porto. Plays for Porto, but and I was just going through, and then it was like, fuck, he's beat England as well in the Charity Shield, did you? Is the Charity Shield or
it was like an under 18s thing, so it was, but it was more like schoolboys. So it wouldn't have been actual recognised players.
Who would have been the best player that you kind of played against back then, would it be Ruiz?
Probably, aye. They were class. They just, we played right away, and I think they scored 2 after 5 or 6 minutes, and you're going, fuck, what's going to happen here? You know, this could be a thing, like, but I think it ended up 4-0 at the end. But could have been a lot more.
What's the big difference? Because obviously you're playing for, say, Cliftonville or Linfield, and then you're still going to school every day, and then like you're going to Hightown or Barney or some Allies or something, and then you're going to train that night. But they have, their schools are in the academy, so they're constantly surrounded. They're in that environment, and they have all the best equipment, all the best gear. I'm guessing you could tell a massive difference.
Massive.
In that.
Just in their physicality, like how quick and strong they all of them are the exact same. So physically, like fit, strong, quick. Never get the ball away. Just like didn't make any mistakes. Don't make any mistakes. Like when we were growing up, we always had a bit of fight about us and a bit of dog and stuff. But there's always a mistake or two, and in every single game that probably cost us. But when you're playing against them, the difference is madness. Like
I would say so. Like
so big. Like
it's mad when you think of it. Like what school did you go to? Barney. You know what I mean? You're going in to listen to Mr. McGuigan, and someone's going to listen to Pep Guardiola. Like come in and speak to the academy.
And I think that's where, like, how can you compete with women's? You know what I mean? It's getting better now. You've got the wee JD Academy where I think after I don't know if it's 4th or 5th year, but they're bringing into like Jordanstown now.
Yeah. And
they all go to the same school in there, sure. And they train in the mornings or they train in the afternoons all together. So there is a bit of that. I know.
You need that there as well.
We didn't have that back then. It only came in there about 3 or 4 years ago. And I think it's been really good. Like you can see now all the kids going across the water and doing well too.
I'm Cole Brannigan, he's from the New Lodge as well, isn't he? So
Braden Graham from Linfield.
Braden Graham, forever.
He played against us last season. Was it last season? The season before. We were going to win the league at Linfield, and he played, and you didn't know much about him, and he gave me a tough time. Like, and he was only 15 or 16, and I was like, fuck, he's
ripping up at the minute for Everton 21s. So it'd be good to see him. It's like, because usually you would see the likes when Rory went over. Like, I think it was Rory and like Brett Long and stuff went over, and Bobo Smith, and most of the players end up coming back. I think Rory was over there probably for the longest, because most players come back after 2 seasons. But now it seems, and then for a while it was players were going over, the likes of fucking Gavin White and Mark Sykes were going over after playing men's football for a while. But now players are actually starting to come through.
No, I think it's because of that. They're in a full-time environment. See, when I'd have been on loads of trials and stuff when I was younger, sometimes you struggled with bouncing from day-to-day training. Yeah. Because we only train Tuesdays and Thursdays, you still were fit, like, but you say you were training on a Monday when you're going over on trial and you train on Tuesday, you were sore. Yeah. Or like, if you're sore, if you train on Tuesday over here back then, you had Wednesday to recover, and then Thursday you're sweet again. So sometimes you could struggle because you're not used to that full time, and I think that's maybe what's happened to some of the young lads. They struggle with the full time and trying to get into it fully, and obviously taking back home. Yeah. But now, because they're used to it, it's sweet. Like it's good as well that the kind of IFA have noticed this year and be like, right, they've identified areas, right, this is why we may be struggling with players going over and making it abroad. Who did you go on trial with when you were younger? The first team I went to was Blackburn. It was class. It was in the middle of the Arsenal world, like way in the, I don't know where the fuck it was, but there was nowhere near it. But the facilities were unbelievable. I think I was only 13 or 14. And I went over about 4 or 5 times. Done really well. Just at the end, they just obviously didn't pick me. Yeah. It's difficult though, because the way things are over there, they gotta pay. Say if they're taking someone from here, they gotta pay money for us, put them up in digs, all this kind of stuff, and hope that they're gonna make something off us, or we're gonna push into the first team. And if they don't think that's gonna happen, they're not gonna take a chance on you, like. So I went to Blackburn, West Brom, Stevenage. There's a few other teams I can't even remember.
Stevenage, that's where Ben Kennedy was. He was there for a good while as well. Mark McKee.
Mark McKee, I actually stayed with Mark McKee.
Mark's mad though.
But he was some player too, like.
I remember him coming back. He was back for the weekend, and I remember me, him, and Darrell were on the drink in Darrell's house and just were drinking. I think Darrell had a trophy, or it was like, it wasn't a milk cup, but it looked like a milk cup, and we were just pouring vodka and Red Bull into it and just drinking it. They got there. Madman.
Some player, he come back from the Reds, Sorry, came back to the Reds after Stevenage, and he was sweet at the start, and then he off for reels, and then he came back out and the same again. But see, we could have kept him fit. He would have been unbelievable for the Irish League. Like,
I used to look at like loads of players that went over to play and say Serie A teams and Bundesliga teams and stuff like that. There and one player that I remember clearly, and he plays for you now, is Ryan Nolan.
Right.
And he played for Inter Milan. Years ago, because I used to just, for Football Manager and FIFA and stuff, I used to just do all my research for it. And I remember him, and I'm just like, and then I saw he was playing for Hughes, and I was like, fuck, that's mad. Like, I remember what's he like in terms of his ability, because I think he not played in La Liga, but he played
in the second division. Last season, the season before. I think he played a lot of games as well. Rand's a brilliant lad. Good player as well. Rand's really good, mate.
Do you ever watch the Football's Next Door from years ago, where it was like a load of lads from the UK and Ireland, and 12 of them went over to Inter Milan, and you could win a contract. So whoever won the competition won the contract. I ain't gonna send you a video of it. They're all on YouTube, but it's basically lads just go for a big trial with all Inter Milan coaches, and then they go over, and there was lads that end up training with who was all there? It was when Vigo was there, and Vieira and stuff like that. There was the guy that won it, because he followed the podcast page there recently, but he came back and just played he played for Kilmarnock and then a load of non-league
teams.
But he ended up getting the Champions League medal, because it was the year that they won the treble. I think it was 09-010. But I was just wondering, in case, because I'd love to try to get him on as well, Ryan Nolan.
I think he'd definitely come on. He's brilliant.
Be a great story. So you're at Cliftonville, you're playing for under 17s, under 19s in terms of Northern Ireland, and then you make your debut that season as well for the Reds. So where was your debut, and what was it like, just finally, because you're a Cliftonville lad as well, you're representing Cliftonville, you know how much it means for players like the likes of Rory and Levi and stuff like that, to represent the Reds, Joe. And what was it like for you, the experience?
I mean, it was class. I think my first debut was against Lisburn and Sillery in the Cup. I think it might have been the League Cup, and I come on for about 5 minutes. I think it was like we're winning 6 or 7-0, but even just coming on, I was absolutely buzzing. I don't even know if I touched the ball or not. But just coming on, and my man Donnelly were, so it was brilliant. And then a couple of weeks later, we played Linfield in the County Antrim Shield, and we're doing a bit of shape, and I was in, and I was like, fuck, am I playing here, or what's going on? Because Skin didn't say anything to me, like, you're going to be playing or anything. And after Trini put his arm on me, he said, look, you're going to play tomorrow night or whatever. I was like, oh fuck. Like, I was shaking myself. And obviously Linfield were a big club back, or still are a big club, like, but they were probably the biggest club back then. And I didn't really know too much about the players and stuff. Obviously you go watch the matches and all, but you only take an interest in Cliftonville. And obviously I was a Cliftonville fan before, even though I was at Linfield. I didn't really know too much about the first team players. And I played against Kirk Miller, and at a tough night, like, I played left back, he played right mid, and he was fucking good, mate. He was rapid, balls in the box constantly, good in the air. But I done well, and then I think we could beat 2 or 3-1. I made a mistake, gave one of the goals away, but Skin just put his arm on me and said, look, you're a young lad, you know, don't be worrying about it, you play brilliant, you know, this happens, still happens now, for God's sake, you know what I mean? So, but back then that was the worst thing in the world. You were going to attack the next day, and boys are like, oh, what about you giving the fucking goal away, and blah,
were you at
blah.
the Football Academy?
The Football Academy, Tiernan and Seamus would actually run that, Tiernan and Seamus Lynch. And all the boys are slagging, you know, and you're fucking scundered. But no, and then I played my first actual league game. I think that's when your actual debut is. I don't know if the cup games count.
I think people go by league games, but I just think it's whatever.
I know, but my first league game was that season as well. We were away to Carrick. The pitch was shocking, it was lashing, and I played centre back that day. I can't remember why, I don't know if boys were injured or whatever. But I never really played centre back, I was always like a left back. And we won 3-0, but it was a tough game. Like, I think we scraped through. I think someone made it get sent off the last 10 minutes and we scored 1 or 2 goals, but it was a really tough game. So I don't know if I played much more that season, maybe another game or 2, but I was only 16 at the time, so I was buzzing. But no matter, I was always in and around the squad, in and out. I was on the bench, not on the bench, or maybe getting 5 or 10 minutes towards the end of the season, so I was just buzzing being in and around the boys. Like,
was there any players that put their arm around you and took you under their wing and showed you kind of the ropes?
Levi, mate. Levi was brilliant with me, so he was. Always like telling me how like boys played. If I was playing against someone, he's like, oh, he's always looking to come in his left foot, or he's good in the air, he's quick, always just like trying to look after me. Jamie McGovern was there, he'd have been helpful as well. And then obviously just like you Joe and stuff, and Marty, they just try and talk you through games. Cats as well was brilliant, with the younger lads. So I would loads of boys.
Would you have had much in terms of performance analysis there, like just like going in and just say watching, if you're playing Linfield, watching Linfield the week before?
Do you know what? I can't remember back that far, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't think so.
Would you have that now with Larne?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's massive now. Like since even before I went to Larne, just a year or two before, I think it sort of only came in then.
Yeah.
The Irish League anyway. I think with Paddy McLaughlin first came, he had brought someone in with him. Don't know, obviously he's getting left, then Barry Gray came in. I don't know if Barry Gray done any analysis. We would have had like, you just would have knew how teams played back then. It wasn't like now where boys have specific ways of playing and teams play a certain way. It was very direct, wasn't it? Like, get the ball up, knock it away, put it in the box. So I think it's changed slightly the last few years, so I think it's had to come into the game.
I think it's good now because it shows kind of the direction of what the league, where the league is wanting to go. I think there's still a long way to go, but it's going in a good direction.
Definitely going in the right direction. Well. Definitely 100%. See, even with the investments of other clubs, like Coleraine, I've got some boys came in and he's spending a lot of money, but people are complaining about it, but it's good. He's bringing better players into the league, and that's what we want. You know, there's boys coming from England. You got Will Patching, who was at Derry, I think he came from City before he went to Derry, really good. Went to someone in England, Carlisle, and now they've just signed him. That's the kind of players we want to bring in the league, players like him. And Coleraine are doing it at the minute, so if we can all get together, and I know obviously there's a lot of money involved in bringing players like that into the club or into the league, but I think the only way is up, and they're obviously starting now. Like.
Hey everyone, Caine here from Mentality Monsters. Time to talk about today's sponsor. If you love the thrill of winning big, then you need to check out Our Kings Competitions, the UK and Ireland's top spot for incredible praise competitions. They're giving you the chance to win luxury cars, dream holidays, top tech, and even life-changing cash prizes, all for a fraction of the cost. And what's the best part of this? Entering is super easy, so you just need to go on, select your competition, grab your tickets, and then you're in for a shot at winning big. With guaranteed winners in every draw and some of the most amazing prizes out there, Our Kings is the place to be if you want to turn a little into a lot. So, what are you waiting for? Head over to www.ourkingscompetitions.com now and grab your tickets, and you could be our next big winner. That's Our Kings Competitions, where dreams become reality, and enter today. It's great, like it is a great like advertisement like for the league as well, just in terms of how many teams are actually competing now as well. No, like you're like in terms of the title race this year, like as you say, there's still a lot of football to be played. Like realistically or theoretically, it could be anyone's.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But it makes it interesting for people to watch as well. And I think now that more TV rates are starting to come about, BBC are showing more, Sky Sports are showing the like odd one as well.
I think the Niffle now are trying to do like games that was in Boxing Day, or you could have paid if you weren't there. They're starting to trial that there to see how it goes. I know down south have their own League of Ireland TV, which is meant to be classed. You know, they get all the games not there. I think if we can get something like that there in our league, it really puts us on. You know what I mean?
How was it? Just not to shoot too far ahead, but obviously you played against League of Ireland opposition in the conference. What was it like, just in terms of their level?
I actually didn't even play, but obviously I was injured. I was involved in obviously all the meetings and the training sessions. I would have been out watching and whatever. We played a different way. We probably didn't showcase ourselves properly against Shamrock Rovers. We would always play a 3-5-2. For whatever reason, Tiernan decided to change the shape to a 4-3-3, which we weren't used to. We had the players that play it, but we just weren't used to it, and we didn't maybe have enough time to work on it. And we struggled big time in the game, and I think we made a tweak their shape at half time, and we done really well in the second half. I know they won 4-1 or 3-1 in the end, but we definitely showcased better, more us in the second half. But there's definitely levels. The our league and their league.
Yeah.
Definitely with Shamrock Rovers anyway, that's the team we played against. They're unbelievable. They've got some really good players as well. It was from that night anyway, there was a big difference. Like
in terms of the money as well, like goes about that league as well. I think just even Oran's move just shows exactly. But then again, like there's been moves over here that are.
See, to be honest with you, I think down there don't really buy players too much. So I don't think there's like, I think Oran was one of the highest paid transfers in the League of Ireland, which I was shocked at because I think there's been players in our league bought for over 100 grand. Like
it was Conor McManamy, or McManaman, the Glentoran, was that not that was a big enough fee? And then I think Paul went and
I'm not sure.
Went over
I think Lee Bonus from Portadown to Larne was a
big
fee.
Yeah, it was a big
I don't know
fee.
exactly what it was, but I think it was a big fee. But there's been other ones. I think Jimmy McGonigal and stuff when he was a Cornrain moved to Crusaders for big dough, or the opposite way, whatever it was. But I was definitely surprised when I seen that there the other day or the other week, that was the highest paid in that league, because as you said, there is a lot of money down there.
A lot of money.
So
and see as well, like there seems to be the last say 3 years or so, there's constantly a team there in the group stages of the conference. So you know what I mean, the money going into the league there as well, and then the TV rates and stuff. But see, just go back to Cliftonville. You won the League Cup and you've also won the County Antrim Shield there as well. What was it like, just like winning for your kind of, not the Larne's not your people, but your local Cliftonville? What's it like winning for your team and your people growing up?
I was buzzing. I mean, we got the Windsor for that League Cup. I think it was against Cornrain, and the whole stadium was packed. That side of Windsor, you know, when you first come out of the tunnel, lower and upper, was rammed, and I mean, it was brilliant. And we can't really remember how the game went, but I don't think we started off too well. We made a goal down, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it was 2 down.
Maybe 2 down. And I think he made a couple of changes and brought Paul Neal on, and I think Joe started, and we got one back, and it just the momentum just kicked us on, and we got another one back, and it brought us in the extra time. And I think Paul and Joe then scored another 2 in extra time, and it was brilliant, mate. Even the after party, and we went back to the social club. We were drinking right through the next morning. I think all the boys were buzzing. I know, it was class.
I think when
County Antrim Shield was my first trophy with Paddy, and same sort of thing, packed. The stand was packed. Playing Ballymena, we're 1-0 down. I think we scored 2 in the last 94th and 95th minute to win it. So the way we won the game was buzzing, even though it's a County Antrim Shield, and people may not see it as a big trophy. It was still like your first one. 100%. You know, it gets you going, and I think it kicked us on that year to win.
See, when you were playing for the Reds, was there pressure because you're a local lad?
Don't know. Probably. It's I would be. You want to do well, don't you? Because you're from the area and everyone knows you as well. You know, if you're not performing, you're going to see someone on the street. Yeah. You're going to say, "Oh, fuck's sake, what do you know what I mean?" So, but there's still pressure. No matter where you go, there's pressure to perform. You know, because you get paid. Yeah. This is your job. You know, if you're not doing it properly, you feel like a bit fuck off, for fuck's sake. Know what I mean? Like, so, I know, but definitely from Cliftonville, as you said, because you're from the area and stuff, you need a bit more pressure on you.
I think it means a lot more to the type of players, and like yourself. I was speaking to one of my mates, and one of my mates says he was speaking after the Irish Cup final, was speaking to Ben Wilson, and he was like, like how's it feel? And he was like, oh yeah, it's alright. And but for a Cliftonville man
who's from the area and
waiting all these years to win the Irish Cup, it's fucking massive. But I just think that there, like for me, I was saying before, that match was unbelievable. I love that Cornwall match.
I actually didn't even play. I was on the bench.
Were you?
Thinking on, but even at that, you still feeling. You know what I mean?
You're in the round.
You're in the round, But at the time, you're like, fuck, I'm raising, I'm not playing. And you don't get on, and you sort of when you're celebrating all, you're like, fuck, should I be celebrating here? But you're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I helped the boys get here. 100%. I helped the boys get here, so. You know, still.
When it came round to the time of leaving Cliftonville, what was that like for you, and how did you come to the decision to do it?
So it was that season there, wasn't it?
Yeah, 21-22.
The season before, I actually got Player of the Year, signed a new contract, then got 3.5 year deal. Buzzing, doing really well. And Levi was out of the team that team, so I was constantly playing left back. The year before, when I got the player of the year, and when Levi came back in, Paddy then pushed me in the midfield, and I was playing a bit of both, because Levi was in and out. So if he wasn't playing, I was playing left back, and if he was, I was sort of playing midfield. And I was doing really well in midfield. And I wasn't a midfielder, but I was slotting in and doing well. So Paddy was like, fucking brilliant, whatever. And the next season came round, Paddy was like to me, oh, Levi's back, maybe I'm going to push in the midfield this year. And I was like, alright, dead on. I didn't care where I played as long as I was playing.
Yeah.
And I had a few wee niggly injuries in pre-season and stuff. And at the start of the season, we had a under-21s camp with Northern Ireland, and I got picked for it. And I was hemming and hawing about going because I had a wee niggly knee injury, and I didn't know I was fully fit. And I was like, should I go or not? Because I was going to miss the first 3 games of the season for Cliftonville. And when you see if you miss 3 games and the team's winning, you're not getting back in. So I was a decision. I was like, no, fuck it, I'll go to 21s. When the 21s came back, won the first 3 games. I think we played Glentoran. Can't remember who we played, but we beat Glentoran and 2 other teams, and we were sitting top of the league. Boys hadn't conceded a goal. I was like, how the fuck am I getting in the team here? And I struggled for a bit to get in, and I eventually did get in. I was doing really well. Picked up a 5th yellow card, so you miss a game. Same thing happened. Boys came in, done well, and I wasn't playing for weeks. And it came to the January transfer window, and I was just thinking to myself, I was 20 or 21 at the time. I'm not going to play much here till the end of the season. And at that stage, I'd played loads of games for Cliftonville, over 100 games, and I was like, I need to be playing. I can't be wasting a full season here. So I think I went into Paddy and said, look, is there any chance I can go out and loan at the end of the season? And he was, no, definitely not. And I was like, I need to be playing, and I don't seem. And he's like, no, you'll get in, keep on working hard. And this was at the start of January, and at the end of January, 4 or 5, maybe more games went on, and I hadn't kicked the ball. I was in the bench, I wasn't getting on. I was like, I can't do this. So I didn't wrap this door again. I was like, please let me go on loan. I've still loads of years left here at Cliftonville, just need to be played at the end of the season. And he was like, right, okay, we'll try and sort something out. So I think Dungannon had agreed to bring me to the Emmons, and I was all, Dungannon at the time were coming up, and they had a new manager and they were playing a decent bit of football. So I go in there for half a season, play 10 or 15 games, come back in pre-season and get at it again. And then on the last day, my agent phoned me and was like, here, would you be interested in going to Larne? And I was like, oh, what's going on? And they were like, oh, well, Cliftonville want to sign Ronan Hill in the January transfer window here. It's the deadline day. He's like, Larne have asked for you, would you be interested? And I was like, aye. I was like, is it permanent? There's a loan, or what's going on here? And he's like, no, it's a permanent. And I was like, fuck. It just came to you that day, and you're like, oh, do I want to leave Cliftonville? I was like, I don't know. So it went on that day anyway, and Cliftonville couldn't sort of whatever out for Ronan, so it didn't happen. Yeah. And there was no real talk of it. And it came to the end of the season, and I still hadn't really played much games. And then Larne came in and were like, look, we want to sign you. I didn't really want to go, but I was just thinking to myself, I struggled that season to play games. Am I going to play next season? Maybe this is a good opportunity. Full-time team, doing really well, no turning, no loaded players. And I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a go. I was only 20, 21 at the time. I was like, full-time football at this age is perfect for me. And I went there.
Was it the same kind of, because Cliftonville's kind of like a family feeling there as well, just because the social and stuff, you see everybody, and was it the same when you first went in there, or was there like a different vibe in terms of professionalism?
No, there was a different, everything was so professional. We get in first day of pre-season, there was meetings of what we're going to do in the session, laid out. Kieran had a slideshow of what we were going to do in every part of the session, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes in this, whatever it was. And I was like, fuck, this is new. And then you were in doing prehab stuff in the gym before you went out to actual train that I probably wouldn't have been used to before at Cliftonville. And then you went out, trained, it was intense, came in, had a bit of lunch, and then you're straight into the gym. And I was like, fuck, this is going to take me a bit to get used to because I'm not used to it. But all the boys are brilliant, because you're with them every day, you get to know them more, know what I mean? You're constantly, I'm with him boys more than I'm with my missus, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you get to know everyone, and everyone's brilliant. There's no wee cliques or nothing. So it was good.
Was there an initiation for you at all? Do you do that there?
We did do it. I think we went away to Gibraltar for a European trip. I can't remember who we played, maybe St Joseph's. And we went out after and we got hammered, steaming, and on the bus everyone sang, but I was no shape way to sing. Like, I was fucked at the back, so I didn't sing that time. But I think they got me down the line at the Christmas do, and when we went to Dublin, they had me singing on the bus, like, but I had a few drinks in me, so I didn't mind.
Aye, they made it. Did Tiernan kind of give you a talk before you came in and just said, yeah, you're going to play this season?
No, Tiernan was very, like, know what I like about managers? See when they're straight.
Yeah.
See when you go and say to the manager and he tells you what you want to hear? I hate that. I'd prefer he just say, no, he's ahead of you. It's up to you to push yourself to get in there. Say, talk shit. Some managers like to talk shit just to make you feel better.
Yeah.
They don't want the hassle. Tiernan was straightforward. I can't say you're going to play any games. It's up to you. You know what I mean? I know what you bring to the team, but you got to bring it, like, sort of thing. So when I first went, it was actually funny. I went up and met him, signed the papers, and he was going through. He had a wee board. And he's like, we'll start pre-season here. And I was like, oh, fuck. And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm in Mexico for 2 weeks. And he's like, why the fuck did you not tell me? And I was like, just in case you pulled it off. I was like, fuck, I wasn't fucking saying that. And he's like, fuck's sake. And he's like, is it paid for? I was like, oh. He's like, right, I'll let you go, sort of thing. So I missed the first, I was in the first week of pre-season and I missed the next 2 weeks. So I didn't play the European games. And we got put out right away, actually. We had a bad result against one of the Gibraltar teams. And I started playing in the pre-season games, and I started the first game and I'd done really well. I played Glentoran with 3-0 each. I played left centre back with 3, and I'd done really well, and I just stayed in the team from then. I think he just built a bit of trust in me. It was brilliant. And
you go on to win the league that year as well.
I won to win the league.
What was the season like in general? Because it
was tough. It was tough. Glens had a really good team that year. They had Conor McManaman. Donnelly was scoring goals that year. Paddy McLean did a really good team, like, and I think they started off like 15 to 20 games unbeaten, and they weren't really drawing us. They were winning most games, and we were in and around them. And we played them one game and they beat us 4-0 the Oval, and we were like, fuck. That sort of like drained us a wee bit. And then they had a bad run of form over Christmas, and we were just grinding results out and doing really well, and they really dropped off. I think Linfield made a kicked on then as well, and I think it might have been between us and Linfield going into the split. I think there only was 4 or 5 points in it, and we won the first 2 or 3 games, and that was it. We'd have won the league. I don't think we could have been caught. So it was really good. Like, it was brilliant. And that was obviously my first league as well, so it was class.
What was the celebrations like compared to what you were used to before? With
they were actually brilliant. Larne don't have a big, like, I'm not going to say fan base. They don't have it's not really a big town.
Yeah.
So they had everyone from the town down at the game, and they had a big like beer garden and all out the back, and the bars and all. Kenny had paid for, like, all the lads didn't spend a penny for the drinks, and their parents and all had like a wee gazebo at the back where there was buckets of beers and drinks everywhere. So no, it was brilliant. Like, it was class.
For you and that their team there, was there anybody there just again, like, just in terms of the dressing room as well, because you're going from a very, like, boisterous, and that's it's not professional at the Reds, but it's very, like, having the crack and stuff like that there, because you know the types of characters that are there. But I kind of think with Larne, you've got the likes of Tomas and stuff there, but it seems just very, like, straightforward, very professional, like, no real fucking messing and stuff like that there.
No, to be fair, there still is a load of cracking on behind the scenes. Like, everyone's, everyone has a laugh and all. It's not like fucking real rigid and this is what we do, and you don't step out of this is what it is and all. You still have your crack in between, you know what I mean? We're there to do the work every day. Everyone turns up and fucking is really professional in what we do, in our training and our gym work and stuff. But I'd say that there's loads of crack going on, like, and it's brilliant.
Did you learn anything about yourself just in that season, that you're going to a club and you have to prove something, and then you stay in the team and you end up going to win the league as well?
See, to be fair, like, that year obviously didn't play much. I was like, am I good enough? Was I good enough to be playing for Cliftonville and going to Larne here, who are full time? I was like, am I going to struggle? Am I going here to waste my time? Or, that's the thoughts I was thinking before I actually went. Obviously I knew I was a good player and stuff, and I played loads of games, But football's funny, like, you know, see if you've ever run a bad games and all, people think you're a bad player.
Yeah.
I always say you don't turn into a bad player overnight, like, you know what I mean, or a bad team overnight, because they have a few bad performances or results. So, but at the time I was like questioning myself. So when I went and I started off well, I just grew a bit of confidence, and I knew, I was like, fuck, this is perfect, this is the right move for me. And I kicked on really. I didn't get the full time aspect to help me big time, like.
What's the kind of mentality, like, difference between both clubs from when you were, just because again both clubs were kind of going for the same things, but again it's just two different ways and approaches of doing things, and different managers and different squads. What would you think or say is the biggest difference in mentality between them both?
Well, obviously recently now, us as Larne are expected to win something every year. A league, we were expected to be up there. Like, obviously there's financial money getting put into us, like big money. So clubs are going, oh, you got to be up there.
Yeah.
Cliftonville on that side, maybe the start of the season, no one expects Simmons, don't mean in a bad way, to be up there, because they're not really getting that financial backing at the minute. So maybe that's where the mentality is. We're at a club now, we're in the start of the season, our targets are, we got to be pushing for the league.
Yeah.
An Irish Cup, we have one in the Irish Cup, one of our goals now is, can we win the Irish Cup?
Quarterfinals here against the Glens, isn't it?
Quarterfinals against the Glens, big game, you know. So I think that's, I'm not going to say Cliftonville are not going to say at the start of the season we want to win the league.
Expectations are different.
Yeah, from outside I'm on about.
Yeah.
And inside as well, when I was at Cliftonville, we got the, you know, we didn't really set targets, you just got on with it, we just try to win next game. And you get to learn you're setting targets at the start of the season, like as a group. This is what we want to do, and let's do it. Like, it's not like we're setting unrealistic targets, you know. So that's probably the biggest difference. Or like,
what was Tiernan saying to the kind of group when you first got back after pre-season, after the first league title?
The first training session was fucking mental. We done a bleed test. Usually the first day you do like a fitness test, so you come back, you get like an off-season program that builds you in. You just can't come back and just start fucking running, you'll start getting injuries. So we get like an off-season program, you start building into it. So first session you do a bleed test, and it was fucking tough. It was warm and all that day, and we were in there and running for ages. And I was like, fuck, we'll just do the bleed test and that'll be us. And then we went into like a possession drill, and we were constantly fucking running about that. And then we went in them like 1k runs no around the pitch, and we just kept on bouncing in from the possession drill to the 1k runs, and he just kept on shouting. Like, I think Linfield, Larne were 14 or 15 points behind Linfield, who won the league last year, and he just kept on shouting, we need to make 14 or 15 points up this year. Like, so obviously this mentality at the start of the year, like we need to catch seasons. And that was from the first session. I remember going home, I was like, fuck me, this is the way it's going to be for the rest of pre-season, because I have bollocks here.
You can see the mentality there as well, but like, is drive, and there's purpose behind it.
It was like, it was just like, whatever, I wasn't there the year before. Why are we 15 points behind Emmons? We're just as good as them. We maybe have better players. How are they so far ahead of us, you know what I mean? So from the first get-go, like, he was adamant that we were going to push that season, and we did, obviously, so it was brilliant.
In the second season, when you first went back in, so obviously you have won the league, and kind of, not people think, all right, that's the job done, but it's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Did he kind of ground you and bring you back to earth, or was it kind of just
no. Caine was brilliant in that sense. Like, he didn't let anyone get too high. You know, he just stayed somewhere in between, and we just kept on trying to do the right things constantly. We played the last game of the season, like, away to Caine, and he made loads of changes. And we won the league. We lifted it all the week before, and we get beat 2-0, and we were really bad. We'd been out drinking and stuff, whatever. And he fucking hammered us after. And he's like, we're trying to we've won the title and all, it's over and done with. He's like, we're pushing for next season, and that's the shit you're showing me. He's like, some of you are fighting for contracts and whatever. And I thought at the time was harsh, and I was like, fuck, we've been out fucking drinking and partying there for a few weeks, but that's just how he was. He just wanted standards high constantly, like.
Not like Arnie Slut, he brought the team to Ibiza.
No, know what I mean?
League.
You know, everyone's different, aren't they? But I think from then you're like, fuck, there's no fucking about here. It's not like we won the league and that's it. he wanted to push for more.
Did he have the kind of full buy-in and respect of all the players?
Definitely, 1,000,000%. I think every manager has to.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to do well, are you?
I think that's when you start to see, like, you hear of players and teams not performing for the manager, and then that's how you know they're getting the boot.
Yeah,
what was the second season like for you, just in terms of just because now you are the hunters become the hunted?
Oh, that's what
people want to get you.
As well, you know, pressure changes. We're obviously chasing Linfield from the year before. As I said, he's 10, 15 points or whatever it was. We need to catch Emmons. And then it's like, fuck, everyone's going to be hunting us now.
Yeah.
And I remember our first game, we played Dungannon at home, and we were winning 4-1. And in the last 5 minutes, they scored 3 goals and brought it back to 4 each. So it was a bad start to the season.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck, he was fuming for that full week. And he didn't speak to no one and all. And we were like, fuck. And then I think we won against Glentoran the following week, 1-0 away. And see, when you get a big win against a big club, it just gives you a massive boost. Like, you know, see, when you're expected to win, you know, no one really cares when you win. But when you're up against it, and Glens were obviously a good side, we just drew, had a bad performance, and you're going away to the Oval, you're like, fuck, it's the last place you want to go. Yeah. Tough ground, hostile can be, and we went on and win. I think it just kicked us on again. I think we lost 2 games that season. We could beat against Loughgall away, really bad result mid-season, and bounced back from it, won loads, and then we get beaten the split by Crusaders in the split, and that was fucking 20 games away. You know what I mean? So we done really well that year.
It's hard to get yourself psyched up for Loughgall away compared to Windsor, because obviously it's natural.
Them games are got themselves, the bigger games. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's hard to get yourself psyched up, but you're expected to win, right? You're expected to play well. You're expected to win by 3 or 4 as well. Not like you're expected to win 1-0.
I cruise it.
So in the games, I think if you don't start off well, like, the fans are on your back right away. Oh, it's fucking shit, they're what he's doing. Or then we start acting edgy on the pitch. If they get a few corners or free kicks or chances, everyone starts shitting themselves. I think so that's how some of them games go, and how the bigger teams struggle.
Yeah.
Instead of just staying calm, because if that happens in a bigger game against Linfield or Glentoran, and they have a few chances, a few corners, and their fans are getting on their backs, we just were like, right, relax. You know, it happened. It's over and done with. Let's push on or whatever. But in them games, I think it's hard because we think we should be winning or doing well, and when we're not, it's like, oh shit.
And I think it's at every level, because you see Arsenal now.
I know.
Arsenal,
it's every
like,
level.
the pressure
it's not like just to the Irish League. It's mad. As you said, Arsenal the last 2 games shit themselves.
Yeah, it's like the pressure, and I hope Lee Forbes sees this as well. I hate Arsenal. I just Arteta. I just think, obviously with the money he spent, he should have won something by now. And then just the likes of Gabriel and Saliba, they're world class. But see, there's the way that they carry themselves. They have won the league already. So that's why I hope. When's it tomorrow? Man City played tonight, 8 o'clock. Yeah. So hopefully they beat Newcastle here. Spurs win tomorrow. Push them on. Can't wait. But your journey with Larne has been nothing short of, for the Irish League, incredible in terms of. You first 2 seasons, you win the league twice. You've won the League Cup. You've won the County Antrim Shield, I think, twice with Larne as well. And then you just go on to Europe. And you just become the first team from here to qualify for a European group stage. Yeah, no. And fuck the journey. Just tell me about the journey.
No, obviously that's the biggest achievement of qualifying for out there. You know, when you grow up, you say I played in Europe. Boys are like, oh, fuck, did you actually? And you're like, oh no, we actually were in the group stages and stuff. You know what I mean? That's alright playing in the first round and getting put out. That happens all the time. We actually got to the group stages, which was unbelievable. It's all about the luck of the draw. You know who you get, because there's some serious teams in there.
Chelsea were when you.
Chelsea were, but I'm on about before you even get there. You know,
qualifications.
The qualifications. You see, if you get a big club, like, you're fucked.
You're goosed.
You're fucked, and that actually be in the first round. You know what I mean? I think that time we got. Who did we get put out by in the first? RFS. We played Emmons in the Champions League qualifier, and Linfield the year before brought Emmons the extra time and penalties. who they should have beat. So we were like, fuck, if Linfield brought them there, we've definitely got a chance here.
Yeah.
And we were way off it. They were unbelievable. So good. They obviously signed loads of different players from the time Linfield played them. And we went out there thinking that we were going to give them a game, set up really aggressive. And they fucking dicked us. They were unbelievable.
What score was
We were 3-0 away and 4-0 at home. They were unbelievable. So that's the first round. And we dropped into the Conference League, so you could put it the first round of the Champions League, drop into the Conference League, and we got a bye. But after getting beaten 7-0, everyone wrote you off.
Aye.
You beat 7-0, they're going to get beat the next team. And we played a team called Balcony in the third round, who beat us the year before, and I aggregate 7-0. So we were like, fuck's sake, we've got the from Kosovo over ours roasting. They're all wee cunts as well when they were on the pitch slabbering and kicking and whatever. We played Emmons and we won 1-0 away from home, so we were over our first. Tough game, nicked the goal at the end, bring them back to Denver. And we know they're going to throw the kitchen sink at us, so we set up really defensively. And they scored a penalty just before half time, and it's 1-1 obviously, and they're pushing like fuck for a goal, and we're hanging on for our lives, like, and we end up bringing up the penalties and win. And at the end of the game, I can't really remember what happened. I went over to shake the manager's hand, and he said no or whatever. Like, shook his head, and I was like, all right. And I walked past, and he came running back. He must have thought I said something, but I didn't even. I just sort of like was like, all right. And he grabbed my hand, and he's like, oh, well done, well done. So I'm trying to be like patronising or something. And I was like, right. And he wouldn't let go of my hand. And he's a bit of an old fella, so I've like pushed him, not just pushed him away. And then all their players had just run towards me. There was kicks getting flew everywhere, and I was like, fuck's sake. But I ended up getting sent off, and I was like, they can definitely appeal this because I didn't do anything. But there was no cameras or anything that seen it, so the referee just said what I started or whatever. So I ended up missing the next 2 games, which was the qualifier to get into the group stages. So we were playing. Who did we play?
Was it a Gibraltar team?
Gibraltar team.
Don't know which one. I just
can't even remember what their name was. We played Emmons, but we couldn't play them in Gibraltar because their pitch didn't work anywhere or something for the UEFA thing. So we had to go to Faro to play them in Portugal. Went over there and it was like 32 degrees heat. It was fucking madness.
Suited them down the
AT. And we were probably the better team in the night. I think we scored the first goal and make it 1-0. And then they scored out of nothing. They make it 1 each, and then they scored again 2-1. So we're 2-1 down in Denver. And they scored really early at Denver. They make it 3-1, and I'm not involved. I'm still suspended. There's a couple of us in the stand, and we're like, fuck. And we're not coming back from that now. And I think Andy Ryan pulled 2 goals back. They make it 3 each. So we're getting half time. It's 3 each. That was before half time. And we're like, fuck, we can push on here. We've got the momentum, whatever. And Craig Gallagher sent off about 10 minutes later. And you're going, that's us out now. Like, there's no fucking chance of us coming back from this. And we ended up scoring about 5 minutes before the final whistle. And he scored again. Hat-trick. And that's us in the conference. That was the best night of my life. Even because I wasn't playing. It was still unbelievable, And I couldn't get in the changing room after, so all the boys are celebrating. There's like a rule. You're not in like half an hour after. So I'm in the stand by myself, and they're obviously in there fucking going mental. And I'm like, fuck me.
I think they could have banned the rules for that one.
I know. I was like, can I throw my hood up and run down? They were like, nah, because we'll get fined. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was
is it like a UEFA thing?
UEFA thing,
Oh, is it?
So I was like, fuck's sake. So I'm in the stand, and obviously I wasn't part of it, but we went in and it was brilliant. Like, and then you're like, fuck, who we're going to get? And we got a decent draw. We got a few good games. We obviously beat Mold and stuff at home.
Was it one of them ones you were sitting just like everyone sitting watching, or was it on the radio? Or?
No, we were in training one day, and at lunchtime we just put it up on the TV and we were sitting watching the draw. Like, and it was a bit surreal as well, because you obviously watch them draws sometimes for like the Champions League and all, and you see United, who United get, or Celtic or whatever it is, and you see that we're up there and you're like, fuck, it's madness, like.
Class.
And we're just hoping for a big team. There was Fiorentina was in there, Chelsea, Betis. So you're like, fuck, if you can get one of them 3, you'd be buzzing. But sure.
But still, you still got like Mold is a
big club.
It is a very big club. He's ended up beating them.
No, did we beat Mold? No, we didn't beat Mold. Who did we beat?
Genk
Or Ghent, one of them teams. Mold were class. We went to Norway. Is it Norway?
I think it is
Norway. I went over there. They were brilliant. They had some wee lad playing, or wee lad, some old fella playing midfield. Wolf, you call them. Out of this world. Unbelievable. I think he was like 36, 37. Run the show.
Just still had it.
Run the show. I think he played for United when he was younger. The boys were saying anyway. But they were really good. Like some of the teams we played were class. And there's some games we probably should have done a lot better than what we did. But it was a learning curve for us.
Why did you just have to play at Windsor? I know there is like
there
a
has to be
rule.
a rule of, I think you have to have like a certain amount of seats in the stadium. It didn't really suit us playing at Windsor because we're one of the teams that new into it. You're playing against some big teams at Windsor. It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
The pitch is massive. So at Edinburgh, the pitch is a lot smaller, tighter.
Crowds on top of you as well.
Yeah, no, but even that, like, teams are going to use that space to their advantage. You know what I mean? Good teams. So there were some of them games we probably should have done a bit better. We would have done a bit better if we were probably playing at home as well. The pitch maybe didn't help us because it was massive.
I think I know which one you're going to say here, but what is the most memorable part of that European journey?
That win, mate. The game before we went somewhere far away, like proper far away, and we played a team that we probably Dynamo Minsk. They were down and around us, and they don't think they'd won any games yet. And we watched videos and stuff of them. And they were like, we can do things here. Like we'd done loads of travelling. We had to fly to Turkey and then somewhere else, Azerbaijan. We had to fly to there to play them because they couldn't play wherever they were from. Belarus. So we'd done a load of travelling, and we got there, and we were really well set up, and we'd done well. And again, we just made, I think we gave away a stupid penalty, and we were gutted about that game because that was one of the games we had noticed ourselves that we could win this game. Like, you know what I mean? As a group, we set a target. We could definitely get something out of this game, a win. Because I think 7 points got you into like the playoff. Aye. So Rovers was one of them teams at the start before we played anyone. Can you get a draw or a win out of Emmons? Dynamo wins. Can you get a draw or win out of Emmons? And that would have brought you, if you got 2 wins there, 6 points, and there's still 4 games left out of them. So that's the target we set at the start of the campaign of it. And then obviously the team you don't expect to beat, you do beat, which is absolutely madness. So it was definitely the best bit of it. Like,
says well, whether it's Ghent or Genk, they're in Belgium, they are big clubs.
No, they're massive clubs.
So you know what I mean, taking points off them as well, and then Tomas scoring. I think it's like when you saw it, you're just like, fuck me, that's unbelievable.
I think they needed the win. Not like they had nothing to play for either. I think they needed the win to get into whatever automatic or whatever. So it was a big game for Emmons as well. Like, it wasn't as if they threw out a young team or played different players. They played a full squad. Like, I think one of their players, left back, you call him Brown, got a big move to Fenerbahce here, or one of them big Turkish clubs anyway, Galatasaray or Fenerbahce. And I think AC Milan were looking under too. So they had some really good players. Like, who's kind of the, every team has the, like, say, like your Roy Caine, your John Terry, like a leader. Who would be that there within the, because you have a lot of big personalities and a lot of big players. Now or then and that? No, just then the ones that would kind of drag you through matches. Caine Bolger was big, mate. He was the captain at the time. He had a big personality. He was actually quiet off the pitch, but on the pitch you didn't want him on the wrong side of it. Which was good. You know, he put a bit of fear in the boys. No one wanted to make mistakes because he'd have told you. He was big in that sense. Sometimes you don't know if he'll watch this. He was fucking money bastard, like, you know, constantly winning everything. But he set standards, and you know, if anyone dropped on him, he'd definitely let you know about it. Like, I think you need that there, the likes of a James Milner, like someone like that there, just set standards and constantly. Just. As long as they're like, because you can't set a standard and then drop low at yourself, just constantly someone who's constantly on their game. So again, it improves everyone around them. Given your time at Cliftonville and Larne, what would you say has been the lowest point of your career to date? I don't know. I try not. You've had a pretty decent career so far. See, there's not many lows, to be fair. Well, the Irish Cup final, I wasn't involved in, but I was in and around the squad with Barry Gray was there. It's actually, I was fuming about that day, the whole day together, because I thought I would have been in the squad, and I got there and your shirt wasn't up, and I was like, the one AM ones, you're like, how am I not in the squad?
Yeah.
And he pulled me in and he explained, back then you're only allowed to use on the bench when he was 5 subs. So you had a keeper and 4 outfield players, or maybe a keeper and 5 outfield players. So there was 4 or 5 boys getting left out every game. Now I think you're allowed 7 on the bench, so there's only 2 or 3 maybe getting left out. Back then I was in and around the squad the whole way up to it, and I got that day and you're left out, so you're gutted about that. And then obviously the result, we get beat 2-1 or 2-0 against Coleraine. So that was definitely one of them days where like fucking, that was a low for not getting in the squad, and then obviously a low for getting beat as well.
Who's the Bar Tiernan, who's the best manager you've played under, and why? Because you've played under different personalities.
I know.
With the likes of Barry, Skin, and then even the likes of your Northern Ireland like managers as well.
Everyone's been brilliant, to be fair. I couldn't say Bob about any of the managers I played under. As you said, everyone's different. Have different ways of playing, different ways of speaking. You know, one always stands out. We had a really good manager when I was younger called Pascal for Northern Ireland. He was a French fella. And his sessions were unbelievable. He was really, really good in every sense. I always thought that he would have done something. I don't know where he is at the minute, but he was back then. He was unbelievable, like, and he helped me when I was younger definitely push on and, you know, get better, a lot better than what I was.
You were doing the coaching there as well for Rory. What's that there like, just in terms of like? Because one thing I always ask, because you asked and Levi as well, I think, is the kind of difference of players that are coming through when you were coming through compared to now, because there's a lot more things like that accessible in terms of one-to-one coaching with quality players like yourself. So what's the big difference, and what's it like on the coaching aspect of it all?
There's, as you said, the difference is now there was none of that when I was coming up. You know, you never ever heard of any one-to-one coaching. Even there was PT, but there was no like strength conditioning for footballers back then, or there was no one-to-one coaching. So now, obviously, Rory's done brilliant to get his brand out there, and he's got loads of coaches working for him, and we've got loads of kids coming in. Here we're coaching with, here going across the water as well, and that's not down to us. Like, we only see them once a week, you know what I mean? But it's still brilliant for us that they're coming in and putting trust, you know, to help them and take over and be sharp. Or when it comes to them leaving, that they're ready, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that aspect of it's brilliant, that we're getting kids like that there who's coming in and this.
Do you got something that you're wanting to go on to do? Do you have any of, in terms of like after playing, going in the coaching aspect of things?
I've actually, it's difficult for us as players to do the badges at the minute.
It's all good, someone just walked in there.
The badges at the minute because they're in like June and we're in pre-season, and you want to do your badges, they're like intense courses over like a week or two. Not many clubs are going to let you leave pre-season when we have European games coming up. So I've always been asking questions to the club and stuff, and can we get something for the players maybe who can't go to them, you know, in the summer, like over the course of the year, like every Sunday or whatever. Because it's something that I'm definitely interested in. It's just trying to find the right timing for it.
I think that's something as well, because you see, it's good for clubs to actually put that on, because a lot of players come to the end of their career and then everything that they have known, they've been in around the game the last 20 years, and then they're completely away from it and they don't know what to do next. Where you've got that there, right? I've got all my IFA ones, and then I can go on to do my UEFA here. Stuff like that there, it's a perfect, I think it's a brilliant idea. Do you think that's, would it be the coaching or managerial role you can see yourself going to?
I don't know. It's not something I like right now I want to be, you know, thinking about, you know what I mean? I'm still pretty young, but it is something I'm interested in, you know what I mean? So over the next 2 or 3 years, I definitely want to be doing my badges and getting a feel for it, you know what I mean? And learning a bit more. I think when you speak to boys who do the badges, they say you learn more about the game when you do that kind of stuff than when you actually are playing. So yeah, no, it'll be interesting.
I think with that there, because you can sit back and actually take things in and watch it, where if you're in the game, you're focused, you're in the zone. And then I'd love to do my badges. I done my level 1 with Daggy O'Hara when he done his. I think I was like 16 or something like that there. Yeah, it was a good way to go. But man, I'm just a flat out on Football Manager.
Aye,
That's me.
flat out on it.
Yeah, FM started. I'm in season 2 here with Cliftonville, and we actually qualified for the Champions League group stages. Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw. Totally, that's all it is.
Ended up, I thought we were going to drop down, and then we got a decent draw for the playoff, and we end up with beat Young Boys in the first game there. But that's one of the ones where you're sitting there, you're going, right, Young Boys, and then we've got that PAOK from Greece, and then we play like fucking PSG, Dortmund, and all. I'm proper, and I play it, I'm proper into it. Like, oh fuck yeah, it's box. I got one of them, it's like a Steam Deck, it's like a Switch.
Right, okay.
And I bring it to work with me and all.
I flat out playing at work?
I just play and work and all, just fuck, my missus hates it. I mean, she wants to do something, and I'm just sitting downstairs.
Football Manager, give us 20 minutes.
Give us 20 minutes. But see, when you kind of look back, there's a question here. It's a bit deep for fucking this kind of thing here. But if your playing time was to come to an end tomorrow, what do you think people would remember you for? Very deep for a 25-year-old.
I know, not much probably. Not much.
Well, like, what would you want people to remember you for?
Oh man,
don't know. Just
there's
still plenty of matches to be played before then. Fuck here, we can come back to that there. If you think of something. So I've got a few quick fire questions here.
Go ahead, yeah.
So the best player you've played with?
Fuck. In the Irish League or all in?
Irish League and international.
International would be Ethan Galbraith.
Quality
he
player.
Was sick. And then there's so many in the Irish League. Obviously Cliftonville, he had loads of players. Technically the best player I played with is definitely Mark Randall. He was
at Arsenal now, wasn't he?
He's unbelievable, man. Even now at 36, he's been out injured for ages there. This season he started off is that he was about 20 my age. So good, man. Class. He'd be up there like.
Class is permanent, as they say.
Aye, definitely.
Who's the most influential player you've played with?
In terms of
just kind of
me?
Yeah, your game. Yeah, it's someone that's helped you.
Levi, aye.
Fuck, he's getting a lot of props on this one. He is. The best player you've played against?
That's a tough one.
Do
international?
No, we'll do
Irish League.
We'll do Irish League. Just a player who's give you a fucking bad time.
Conor Manning maybe when he was the Glenser. He was good, mate.
The best trainer at Larne?
Best trainer? Leroy Miller.
Worst trainer?
Oh, there's a few.
Name and shame them.
Tiernan O'Connor.
Who's the other one?
Keeper, Dylan Graham.
See, we just think two, so they both feel bad now.
Don't have hands.
Your favourite match you've played in?
Probably the first year I won the league at Larne. We were away to Crusaders. And we just needed to win the game. That was probably the best feeling after and stuff.
So this year one's a bit different. The best player played against your toughest individual opponent, like a player that you even play against now, who you just know every game, right?
Me, Ross Clark from Crusaders. He's constantly doesn't give you a minute on the ball, good in the air, both feet, and he's quick. He's just a nightmare every time.
All round. Handful.
Handful.
The toughest team you've played against?
Toughest in the league?
Yeah.
It's Linfield and Glens is always a tough game. No matter how well they're doing or how bad they're doing, no matter what, when we play against them, it's always a tough game.
They've got quality players, and it just shows. Best goal scored?
Me? Best goal scored? I scored a few decent free kicks, but they've been against lower teams, so
Let me give you one.
I scored a few decent ones.
That's actually going to be the intro to your episode here.
But I scored a decent one against Glenavon a few years ago for Cliftonville. Short corner, and Rory set me and I whipped it. and people say it was a cross, but I went in the top corner, so
Fuck, I'll have to get that there instead of the Aidan McGee one. Death row meal, 3 courses.
3 courses.
And you have to say where they're from if you're going for the likes of wings and stuff.
Right. Me and Manny don't you know what I love? See, bread and mushrooms from Physicality. They don't know what to do in them, but there's something in them.
They just have that wee bit of
a
wee bit about them.
Peppers and stuff in them. They're nice. I love pizza as well. Pizza and pasta. I love pizza and pasta. So
North Belfast, man, where's the best pizza?
Pizza Works.
Pizza Works. You can't go wrong.
Can't beat the Pizza Works.
You can't go wrong.
And dessert, probably sticky toffee pudding or something. I really enjoy
that's solid. That's solid. What drink though as well? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Just a Diet Coke or something.
Diet Coke.
I'm not really fussed.
Favourite movie?
I mean, I don't really watch too much movies. That's sort of fuck. There's boys in our team, Paul and even Leroy Miller, know every line of every single fucking movie. There's a song comes on, they're like, oh, what's this out of it? And like, these are 2 boring cunts.
I'm one of them people that I talk to people on movie quotes.
That's the way they get on.
Weird like that.
Yeah. I like a bit of horror films, so I do. They interest me, you know what I mean? A bit of something about that there.
The Conjurings and all, and Sinister. I love
like
all that
stuff
shit.
like that there. 1 a.m.
Favourite series? I'm gonna
series. Suits.
Watched up to season 3 and then I fell out of it, but like it's just.
Suits is class. To be fair, it does. It's a bit like the same all the time, you know what I mean? But I enjoyed it.
See with a series, I'm in this terrible thing now. See if I'm not doing something that is beneficial to me, productive ways. I can't do it. Football Manager, that's probably the only thing which I'll do, which is I know is not going to benefit me. But then again, my ball knowledge is going up, so it's alright. But I find it really hard to sit down and watch a series because I go, right, I'm going to have to watch this. There's 12 hours. There's 12 hours in the season, 1 hour an episode. I go, fuck that. I was
actually in that Stranger Thing there as well.
Stranger Things. I only know it because I'd run the pill.
No, it was decent.
It was good. Have you watched like Prison Break or any of those?
I watched them years ago though. Years ago, I can't even remember how they get. Know what I mean? You watched them that long ago, but they're just one's fresh on me because I watched them recently.
Absolute goat. So, your Irish League 5-a-side team played with. So players that you played with.
Keeper Ferguson at the minute. Rowan Ferguson, unbelievable. Can play field probably. His technique is class. I'll go 1 centre back. Or
whatever you want.
1 centre back. I'll go. I'm not in it. No. Sean Want. Really good mate. 2 midfielders. Mark Randall and go Rory.
You need to give him balls. I'm happy.
I've left Levi out as well. He's raised about that. And then striker.
They have a lot of quality strikers.
Goals. Probably just say Joe.
Fuck yeah, that's solid there.
That's a good team.
That's solid. Levi's just down the dumps now. So, well, you can redeem yourself here.
Right.
5-a-side team of players you've played against.
Keeper. Chris Johns, mate, always does well against us. Linfield keeper at the minute. He's been brilliant for us. Centre back. I can't even think. Played against. Jamie Collier. Mate, first year I came free, he scored about 20 headers that year. Him and your man Mark Stafford at Linfield were class. So I'll put Jimmy in. Midfielders. Marty Donnelly, played against him a load of times. Obviously I played with him, but I played against him a load of times. What a player. I'll throw Conor McManaman in, and then striker. Shane Lavery was fucking torture.
I'd say so.
He didn't give you a minute on the ball and he was fucking rapid as well.
Remember his goal against, was it Corberg?
Yeah. He was class for Linfield.
How they didn't qualify there was
crazy.
Madness. Crazy. But then again, that like everything comes for a reason. Then you're going to be the first team to qualify for the group stage. So bro, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate that there.